Let's give our praises to the Most High, whose true name in the ancient Hebrew is Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, whose true name in the ancient Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, our Lord and Savior, and the Holy Spirit, which in the ancient Hebrew is the Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders of GMS, who taught us his truth by the Holy Spirit. Honors to the brothers risking their life and freedom to push the gospel. Peace and blessings to the elect, who consist of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who make up the lost 12 tribes of Israel. According to scripture and prophecy, the elect will be 1/3 of the Israelites who, in these last days, are returning back to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah for salvation, while the 2/3 of Israel who don't seek the Lord in time be destroyed with America. And that's all according to prophecy. We back with another lesson through the mercy and spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. I think this lesson is going to be titled No Will to Fight equals no military equals no throne. Again, no will to fight equals no military, or I may put no defense equals no throne. So, what we see is a lot of things taking place in the earth, and there's a great shift right now in people's views and opinions toward America and her military. A lot of people are waking up to how low down and dirty the military is, which you shouldn't be surprised when you got a wicked president in office. It is not just the president, the whole government is wicked. So what you expect? You got a wicked president, a wicked government, you're gonna have a wicked army. As a matter of fact, let me grab this one real quick. This is gonna be the book of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus. We're gonna get 10 to 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. You see that? As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. If you got a wicked judge, a wicked king, ruler, president, government, you're going to have wicked officers. You know, you could throw ICE in there, but the military, wicked officers, because you got a wicked judge ruling over the people. And that's why verse 3 say, an unwise king destroyeth his people. But through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. And Trump is that unwise king that's going to get his people destroyed. And with the recent revelation of the Epstein files and everything else, all the other charges that people bringing up on America, all her past dirt and treachery that's coming out, you know, being exposed to the people, what we see is America is losing her military. The minds and the hearts of the American people is no longer with America. People's minds and hearts are shifting away from this place. Active duty troops don't want to fight. They're refusing orders. They don't want to be deployed. The reserve, the National Guard, refusing orders. Nobody wants to fight. And then don't even talk about a draft. People who are not even enlisted, nobody wants to fight. And it's not just out of fear. That's a big part of it. But the most part is, don't nobody support what America stands for. And that's the book of Habakkuk. Guess I'm going to get that real quick. When we come to chapter 2, when we come to maybe maybe the 12th verse. Matter of fact, yeah, it says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, establisheth a city by iniquity. See that? Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth a city by iniquity. And that's how America established herself as a dominant superpower in the earth. It was by blood and by iniquity, in which, let's see if we can pull this up in the NLT real quick. What sorrow awaits you who build cities with money gained through murder and corruption? So, yeah, nobody wants to stand for America anymore. And we seeing this amongst white people, who are the Edomites. So that's why the lesson is titled, No Will to Fight equals no military equals no throne. Because what America don't understand, because they're the dumbest people on the planet, it's not your social media and the internet that makes America the glory of kingdoms. It's not, foreign cars, material wealth, America claiming to be the richest country on the planet. That's not what makes this place the glory of kingdoms. Your riches and your wealth and your glory, that don't make you a prosperous kingdom. Now, that can be part of a prosperous kingdom, but what America gonna find out is that any throne, any kingdom needs a defense. It needs a fighting force. It needs a military, but not just any military, a military with a good number of fighters. And the fighters actually have the will to fight. So the military, there needs to be a high morale. People believe in the country or kingdom they fighting for. And America has lost that. It's been diminishing over time. But America completely lost the morale and the support of the people in just a few weeks. With everything that's been unfolding with this war with Iran, with Iran. And that's what people don't understand. It's the military, that's one of the critical key components that any thriving kingdom needs. If you got no military, you got no throne. And then to add more to it, we'll get a little bit of this Habakkuk. Um, 2 and 6. It says, but soon their captives will taunt them, and everybody what? A captive to the US dollar. Them sanctions and tariffs. It says they will mock them, saying, what sorrow awaits you these? And that's not even the mindset to those outside of America. American people are feeling this same way about America. It says now you will get what you deserve. Look through the comments on these different videos showing war footage or war news. Not American propaganda, but actual war news. There's Americans cheering for Iran. I'm one of them. It says you become rich by extortion, but how much longer can this go on? And everybody is beginning to realize America has operated this way the whole time. I mean, you should be surprised when you consider what happened to the so-called Native Americans and Latin American people, South Central America, and the so-called African Americans when we were brought over here. You American people are late. People saying America has become a satanic country. America been satanic. Look what it did to the 12 tribes in building up this place. It says, suddenly your debtors will take action. They will turn on you and take all you have, while you stand trembling and helpless. Because you have plundered many nations, now all the survivors will plunder you. You seen that happen. You committed murder throughout the countryside and filled the towns with violence. And this is not even in America. Everything that Esau the white man in America did to the 12 tribes, so-called Negroes, Latino, and African Americans in America, Esau has been doing that all over the earth. What sorrow awaits you who build big houses with money gained dishonestly? You believe your wealth will buy security? Yeah, your wealth not gonna buy security. Your wealth can't be your defense. Putting your family's nest beyond the reach of danger. But by the murders you committed, you have shamed your name and forfeited your lives. And that's what is coming to America. All this shame that's come to her name. No longer is it a glorious thing to identify as an American worldwide. Take it a step further, neither is there any more glory in being a white American male, who's forwarded all this wickedness and violence in the earth. Now, it might be one more. Okay, so I wasn't gonna get none of this, but we actually gonna get to the lesson now. Lord has had it come out. So as we said, it's not your wealth, your technology, your internet, your social media, the dollar being a reserve currency. That's not the stuff that establishes a kingdom, but it can be part of it. Again, one of the most important things that any government, any kingdom need is a defense. You need a military. America just lost her military because she lost the minds and the hearts of the people. Now, this is Isaiah 47:1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. The daughter represents the future. So there will be a second Babylon. That's America, the great whore. Mystery Babylon, Babylon the Great. And what does it mean to sit in the dust? The next part explains. Sit on the ground, there is no throne. So sitting on the ground represents a low status, a low position. Mentally and spiritually, America is that low place. But yeah, and this is a judgment against America, no throne. You could consider this place no more the Lady of Kingdoms, the military gone. Nobody believes in this place. Nobody wants to defend it. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And when a woman is tender and delicate, she's desire. Nobody has a desire for America no more. So keep in mind, sit in the dust, virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground, there is no throne. And in this perfection, it's going to be the nuclear destruction, but it's happening now. She ain't got no military. This place is open to attack. This place can be taken. But we got a handful of videos that we going to get into showing that America has no defense. So we see this, we just going to let him read it.
Military bases are experiencing internal revolt as huge number of soldiers are refusing to go to the battlefield and die for Israel. Love it. This will have devastating impact on Pentagon and the White House. Internal revolt is the first time to be experienced. Absolutely love it. This is to all you kids over there. Do the same. You don't need to die for this motherfucker.
See that? No will to fight equals no military equals no throne. And this is white people saying this. And it's bigger than, oh, people waking up to America being wicked. Oh, people are getting smart. They're not going to fight and defend America's wicked agenda worldwide. The bigger picture is this place about to be destroyed. The reason all this dirt coming out before the people, the Lord is listing all the charges against America because she's about to be destroyed. The reason people don't want to fight, refusing orders to go to the battlefield because this place is about to be destroyed. That's the bigger picture. America is not going to lose the war, be humbled, with her tail tucked between her legs, and no longer be a superpower. No, she's going to be destroyed. That's what all this is about. To skip the in-between steps, the result, America's going to be destroyed. That's what this is about. It's a process. Now, yeah, several military bases experiencing an internal revolt. Soldiers refusing to go to war for Israel. And Esau said, hey, don't die for these MFers. And this is the next video. Most people have seen this by now. Marine Corps veteran attacked by a senator. And check this out.
Israel is the reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel. Let's go.
And that's the thing. America don't want to fight somebody's war, somebody else's war. Why should American people die to fight for another country that's not even part of NATO? What happens in Iran and in the Middle East has no effect on American freedom and American lives over here in America. Because people found out America is not fighting for freedom. She's not fighting for the protection of the American people. No, she's fighting for greed and just to be a murderous, sexual assaulting devil. That's what she's fighting for.
Let's go. America does not want to send its sons and daughters to war for Israel. Your inability to name that shows you accept this as leaders.
Now, this is an active duty soldier. Like you say, America don't want to send their sons and daughters to war. Now, we gonna get to this in a minute. This is beside the point for now. But America don't really got nobody she can draft for war. These Gen Zers or the new young adults, they not ready for no war. But let's continue.
This is wrong, and nobody wants to fight for Israel.
And then this is how they do a Marine. What are these dudes? You know, top flight security, toy cops. There's no, it's illegal to put their hands on a Marine like that. There's no way that this should be legal.
A reminder to all our commandant, please stand up as a Marine. Stand up for America. No one wants to fight for Israel.
And then you see they broke his hand, they broke his arm. And the American people, everybody's seen this by now. Adding more fuel to the fire, but nobody wants to not only fight and die for Israel, but nobody wants to fight on the behalf of America. Now, we're going to go to this video here. We're going to get some more details on different military bases that's refusing orders, they burning their deployment letters, turning in their uniforms, resigning. But check this out.
I want to read something to y'all about our military right now and this crazy war over oil and stuff. So, what I'm reading is, in an unprecedented act of defiance, active duty U.S. Army soldiers at multiple bases across the United States and overseas have begun openly refusing orders to deploy to the escalating war against Iran, publicly denouncing the conflicts as illegal and unconstitutional.
Yeah.
And
So she said in America and abroad, soldiers are saying this is illegal, which it is, and unconstitutional, which it also is, because they took an oath to defend the Constitution. These Marines, a lot of them are real patriots. They go to defend what they believe is the Constitution, not knowing they fighting for the greed and wealth of a bunch of rich Edomites.
they will not participate in what they call an illegal war of aggression. Videos and statements circulating from Fort Bragg, which is now Fort Liberty, Fort Hood, Fort Campbell, and several overseas posts show soldiers in uniform stating variations of, okay, this is not a defensive war. There is no imminent threat to the homeland. Congress never declared war. We will not deploy to kill and die for oil, politics, or foreign lobbies. We swore an oath to the Constitution, not to endless wars. I applaud them. The refusals, estimated in the low thousands so far, but are growing rapidly, represent the most significant military dissent since Vietnam. Key developments here: entire platoons and companies reportedly standing down from pre-deployment training, soldiers citing lack of congressional authorization under Article 1, Section 8, some invoking, I don't know what this is, Nuremberg principles, and the Uniform Code of Military Justice, which is called UCMJ, Article 92, lawful orders only. Viral clips showing troops burning their deployment orders or turning in gear. Immediate fallout. Pentagon placed multiple units on lockdown. Court-martials and Article 15 proceedings already initiated. The White House called the refusals mutiny and disgraceful.
People burning deployment letters, turning in their gear. And this is what you're not going to see on the news. But forgot to mention at the beginning, you got all this talks about a draft coming. So America, who's supposed to be the greatest country on earth, the greatest military, what they need a draft for, that lets you know they losing. That lets you know they losing. That lets you know that something is up. And the point is, when that draft come, our people better not join that war, which we know they are because it's prophecy. So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. There should be nobody at this point in the truth and in the military. Not in the military, not in the reserve. Because when that draft come, our people gonna go there and they gonna get slaughtered. And that's according to prophecy. There should be nobody in the truth and in the military. And the scriptures speak about making a covenant with death. That's what that is. Look at this. Veteran calls on U.S. soldiers to refuse illegal orders.
Today, one of our members received a message offering a $30,000 bonus to come
And don't go to that war for no $30,000. But hey, white people saying stop the war with Iran, and this gonna lead to Egyptian against Egyptian civil wars in America. And this is Satan casting out Satan. Now look at this. Hundreds have called our hotline. The most common thing we hear from service members and their families is that the Menab school bombing was the catalyst that turned them against the war and the military as a whole. Because, America blew up that Iranian school full of like hundreds of little girls, killed all of them. So people see how America conducts itself in war and how she conducts herself altogether, due to the rise of the internet, camera phones. These things are surfacing, almost instantly. And then check this out. I'm gonna make this one a little bigger.
This comment here is making people very angry, and they're like, how dare she say that? So much to the point that people are saying that she should be arrested for making this statement. She goes on to say, Zionists are having a meltdown about what I said yesterday, so let me reiterate. Do not sign up or continue to fight for the U.S. military. This war is on behalf of satanic pedophiles. Find the legal means to exit the military. Do not fight for child rapists. Come home. So this is the Epstein class, right? That's really who you're fighting for.
And that's right, because, dang, do I got it? I don't got it. Yeah, you fighting this war on the behalf of satanic pedophiles, blood drinkers. This is some people calling it not World War III, but World War Epstein. Because this war is really a big distraction from the Epstein files. Because not only, those on the Epstein list, but the Zionists, the fake, who's, the Israelites, they are all part of that. They are part of the women and child trafficking. The fake Jews are part of it as well. That's why they cannot let that information come out. And people realizing who America sides with. The American government who they side with. They not for America, they're for the Zionists. Netanyahu, them fake Israelis. And when you sign up to the military, that's who you're fighting for. Not for America, not for your loved ones at home, but for them satanic, pedophile, Zionist, Epstein people. That's who you're fighting for. So we're going to get this real quick. Habakkuk 2:16, we hear again. Thou art filled with shame for glory. So all of the glory that America once had, all the glory that being a white American male could bring you is now being covered with shame. Dream thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered, that mean exposed. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, the judgment, and shameful spewing shall be upon thy glory. So yeah, the glory that being an American and a white American male used to bring you, that's no more. Now it's a shameful thing to be an American. It's a shameful thing to be a white male. Because look at the Epstein list. It was all white males on there. All old, rich white men. Not to mention all of the grapings that come out that the U.S. military be doing. Shameful spewing upon thy glory. So now we know why the American people don't want to fight. All the shame that's coming to this place. People finally seeing it. Or I say that the masses are finally seeing it. Because many people have been known, but the masses are seeing it. But we got to get this again. And we're going to jump around between the KJV and the NLT. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. America, sit on the ground, there is no throne. In the video clips we just showed, shows you that this place is no longer a superpower. This is no longer the glory or the Lady of Kingdoms. This is no more the greatest country in the world. It never has been, but she doesn't even have a military. So it's no longer a throne, a kingdom. Goes on to say, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt be called no more tender and delicate. Yeah, and America as a country is no more desirable. So we're gonna hit verse 2. We're gonna get KJV and NLT. Take the millstone and grind meal. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg. Uncover the thigh and pass over the rivers. So pretty much the uncovering, that's this place being exposed. Then when you get it in the NLT, take heavy millstones and grind flour. Remove your veil and strip off your robe. Expose yourself to public view. And America has been bust wide open and exposed to the public. Everybody see this place for what it is. You know, corrupt government, greed, liars, prideful, blood drinkers, child and women, SCX trafficking and torturing, pedophiles, moles. This place is bust wide open. America can't do nothing these days without somebody reporting on it that same day. Anything America try to do, somebody's reporting it and spilling the beans that same day. Verse 3 in the KJV, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. So yeah, the nakedness being uncovered, that represents the shame that's coming to America, coming to the American people, the government, the military, her name. Just everything about this place is being covered in shame. And what the Lord say, I will take vengeance. The Lord not jumping around here. No, all this shame that's coming to America, that's part of the vengeance. The Lord gonna completely undo this place. America is not gonna die or be destroyed in glory. No, the Lord gonna bring great shame to this place before he destroy it. So the shame is part of the vengeance. First comes the shame, then comes the destruction. So yeah, first comes the shame, then comes the destruction. So America being exposed and people finally waking up to what's really going on, it's not that the bigger picture is not people finally waking up, people finally catching on. No, the bigger picture, this place about to be destroyed. Because you got to ask, why now all of a sudden? Why are the masses of people getting it now? Because this place about to be destroyed. And let's show this. This is the book of Obadiah 1-10. This is prophecy against Edom, the so-called white man. The same white man that's guilty for forwarding wickedness and violence and abominations and lies and deceit in the earth. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and doubt shall be cut off forever. So that's an order of business. And this is not only because of violence against Jacob, but violence against the earth. You know, wickedness and abominations that's been pushed in the earth. Shame shall cover thee. Step 1. Step 2, thou should be cut off forever. That's the nuclear missiles. So the shame coming to this place can only mean one thing, that this place about to be destroyed. That's how the Lord do business. He exposes you and then destroys you. So he breaking this place down mentally, then he gonna physically destroy it. And that's why when we come here now to the book of Jeremiah 51 and 30, the mighty men of Babylon, in the prophetic sense, this is America, have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might have failed, they became as women. They have burned her dwelling places, her bars are broken. What does it mean to forborne to fight? Well, when you look at it in the NLT, it says her mightiest warriors no longer fight. Their courage is gone. They have become like women. Yeah, so America lost that mighty warrior fighting spirit. Their might have failed, their courage. So when I would read this in the past, I thought that it meant that the American people are scared. They in fear. They're not about it no more. Yet that may be part of it. But part of it, of her mighty men being forborne to fight, they're refusing or don't have the will to fight. It's not just out of fear. But not having that patriotic American spirit no more. People don't believe in this place. They don't want to fight for it. They understand they fighting for the Zionists and the satanic Epstein pedophiles. That America and Israel is just a wicked, they're just two wicked countries. People don't want to fight for it no more. People don't support it. So that's another big reason we see happening on why the mighty men of Babylon don't want to fight. And then the other part of it is out of fear. Because they say they have remained in their holds. You could think about overseas. It's 50,000 troops deployed in the so-called Middle East. Now, when the war started with America and Iran, them 50,000 American troops was nowhere to be found. That's why it says they have remained in their holds. That's them hotels and the military bases that Iran was blowing up. They went into hiding when the war started. Their might have failed. They didn't want to step outside. They became as women because they was running around screaming like everybody else. When their hotels and American assets were being attacked. They have burned her dwelling places. Those are military bases. Those are hotels. Where the Americans be. Her bars are broken. And this should lead us into the book of Ezekiel, I believe, which I did a lesson on this last week that YouTube took down. Son of man, I have broken the arm of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And what does Pharaoh, king of Egypt, represent? Prophetically speaking, it represents America. This place is spiritual Egypt. And Trump is spiritual Pharaoh. When you read the scriptures tell you how the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. The Lord is hardening Trump's heart right now. Trump keep making one bad decision after another, like Pharaoh did. Because the Lord hardening his heart. The Lord is hardening Trump's heart. He gonna keep making bad decisions. You know, he could stop now, but he gonna keep pushing forward. I have broken the arm of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, America, Trump. And lo, it shall not be bound up to be healed, to put a rotor to bind it, to make it strong to hold the sword. And we went in the AI that this represents military superpower having military bases, military gear, military vehicles destroyed, military bases destroyed. Because the body, the main body, is America. The arm is an extension of the body, which an extension of America would be the military bases abroad that Iran has been destroying. And not only the military bases, but the radar and detection systems and the naval destroyers, jet fighters. That's the Lord breaking the arm of Pharaoh. In the prophetic sense, America. Therefore, thus says the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, behold, I am against Pharaoh, king of Egypt, America, Trump, and will break his arms. The Lord is doing that. Just the other day, one of them American destroyers got destroyed. Yeah, you heard that? The destroyer got destroyed. That's why Jeremiah said, how has the hammer of the whole earth ceased? The destroyer is being destroyed. I'm against Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and will break his arms, the strong, and that which was broken, and I will cause a sword to fall out of his hand. And that's what's happening, representing America being dismantled, and the loss of power and the loss of ability to project power worldwide, meaning bully and put fear into people, is diminishing. The things that America was once capable of, she's no longer capable of it. The bases are destroyed. Military infrastructure destroyed. And it's not coming back. So that's the arms of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, America being broken. What America can do worldwide has been cut off. She's going to be very limited, going into the next phase of this war. And then not only the military bases and the equipment, but the people. Because what he say, verse 21? I have broken the arm of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and lo, it shall not be bound to be healed, to put a rotor to bind it, to make it strong, to hold the sword. Okay, America got all this technology and all this equipment, but she ain't got nobody to operate it. Because soldiers refusing to fight. They not picking up the sword. The reserves and the National Guard, they refusing. Nobody's going for the draft. They're refusing. So it's not going to be anybody to hold the sword. Now, there will be. People going to be drafted and go to the war and get slaughtered. But the point is, it ain't your technology or your money that establishes you as a kingdom. Because America could have the most advanced weaponry. But if you ain't got nobody to operate it, what use is it? Which that's something that the American people are finding out now. And that's the thing, too. America losing this war with Iran and covering up the news. The bigger picture, this place about to be destroyed. Now, when we jump here to the book of 2nd Ezra, 16 and 33. The virgins, meaning the women, shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. Let's see why. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed. So a lot of the American men gonna get drafted to war. Now, despite what people saying, they gonna get drafted to war because it's prophecy. They can't deny prophecy. They can't resist prophecy. So they gonna go to war, and in these wars, they're gonna be destroyed. Whether they get sent to Ukraine, whether they get sent to Iran, whether they get sent to defend South Korea, or rather they get sent to defend Taiwan. Not to mention, it's going to be civil wars in America. America is already invaded. They're going to be attacked by foreigners. Whether they real sleeper cells or paid CIA agents. But yeah, in the wars, shall their bridegrooms, meaning the men, be destroyed, setting up Isaiah 4:1. 7 women shall take hold of one man, and their husbands shall perish the famine, because war leads to famine. Look at the Strait of Hormuz being closed off to America and Israel, and anybody that do business with them. So yeah, no will to fight equals no military equals no throne. Now, a draft is coming. A draft is coming, and most American men gonna be sent off to war, and they're gonna be destroyed. Now, this is gonna be the last video that we're gonna close out.
Military draft? Are you fucking kidding me? You think that Gen Z and millennials, younger millennials, are going to go get drafted to fight in the Iran war? You've got to be outside of your fucking minds. Two of the most unserious generations, two of the generations that have gotten fucked over the most with policies of the last 20 fucking years. We can't afford shit. I think this generation is going to sign up and fight a war for Benjamin Netanyahu and the guy that is all over the files that is clearly distracting from it. You gotta be outside your mind. If you thought fragging was bad in Vietnam, just fucking wait. Just wait. Military draft.
I want to know what you think about that. Comment down. Spending trillions of dollars and hyperinflating everything.
So, the United States will never have another draft. The risk of people killing their commanders is way too high. We learned this in Vietnam. Vietnam fragging or killing your commander with a grenade was way too common. Imagine today, where a bunch of people are forced to fight a war they don't want to fight across the world with social media propaganda. People in Vietnam were throwing frag grenades at their commander because Hanoi Hannah was saying, GI, they don't care about you. They're leaving you here to die in the jungle while your wife is out having a good time at home. Imagine these social media campaigns combined with general ill will sentiment towards a draft in the United States, sending 17, 18, 19-year-old men to the front line, especially the same men that grew up watching forever wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. I think they would have a disastrous time finding people who are willing to be commanders. So in summary, I don't think there will ever be another draft.
So yeah, a draft is coming. Something terrible is going to have to happen for it to take place. So America going to suffer horrible, shameful defeat here pretty soon with that ground invasion, and that's going to call for a draft. But yeah, this place is finished. So Lord willing, that was informative. Till next time, Shalom.